Hello, Winnipeg. My name is Ashley Rees, and you're listening to The Diamond Lane on Winnipeg's Classic 107. The Diamond Lane is brought to you by the Diamond Gallery, owned and operated by the Malbranck family since 1992. As it happens today, I am joined by Lisa Malbranck herself. We're going to talk jewelry, holidays, and shopping local. Thank you so much for being here today, Lisa.
Thank you for having me, Ashley.
Yeah, so the holiday season is ramping up. It's going to be a different one, that is for sure. Does jewelry still seem to be on a lot of Christmas lists this year?
It sure does. Yes, we have been responding to lots of emails and phone calls and online inquiries for people who are looking to give a gift for someone special and to give a gift that has some longevity. That's our specialty in working with pieces that are, it's not. It's what we call legacy jewelry or heirloom jewelry, as opposed to kind of disposable jewelry that that can't be repaired or repurposed down the road. So yeah.
Yeah, I was actually just going through my jewelry box today and I found one of the only pieces I have for my grandmother. She bought it for her mother in 1945 and she'd saved up, I think it said she saved up 3 paychecks to buy her this jewelry. And here I have it 75 years later. I still wear it all the time. So yeah, perfect heirloom
It
gift.
really is something very special. And we hear these stories regularly in our shop. Right now, we're not seeing people in our shop as per usual, but just the stories behind jewelry that are crafted of carat gold or platinum. There is that longevity. There's not a lot of things we buy this day and age that can be handed down to future generations and still be enjoyed and repaired as well. We live in a very disposable culture now, also where a lot of pieces are mass produced and made overseas, not necessarily made to be long lasting. So we are really proud to work in an industry that kind of prides itself on that, and hope that there's always a story behind each piece that's presented. And the holiday season, especially in a pandemic, I think people have maybe chosen to, instead of buying a lot of gifts that don't necessarily have that long keepsake value, that they're thinking of, buying something, buying fewer things that have a little bit more meaning. And I think that's where we're seeing some interest growing with our store. So we're grateful of that.
Absolutely. So when somebody's buying jewelry online, because everything is online right now, what should people be looking out for? What should people be conscious of?
Well, it's a really tricky thing. I would say myself personally. So I would say for myself, I would personally prefer to buy it in person, but we don't have that option these days. So I think the main thing is to really ask a lot of questions. If the information that's shown on the site from the jewelry, it should disclose all of the information that is available, and if it's not there, to be able to call and contact a person at that store, and also have them be able to walk you through it and make sure that you're feeling comfortable about the purchase, and to ask about if the item is exchangeable after Christmas, if it's not suitable, because jewelry is pretty personal. You want to make sure that the person was really happy with it, and just to make sure that all the questions are answered, and also too, I think it's really important to ask what kind of training the person you're speaking with in a jewelry store has. For instance, ourselves, we're really proud on educating ourselves so we can pass that knowledge on to our clients. We unfortunately are in an industry that's unregulated, and it's all voluntary. To educate ourselves so we can make sure we have the knowledge to properly discuss the items with or the custom design with our clients.
Right. So our listeners would hear me say all the time that you have 2 GIA trained gemologists on site. What does that mean?
So that means that both my father and myself have studied with the Gemological Institute of America. They have different headquarters throughout the world, but their main campus is in Carlsbad, California. So I myself, a number of years ago, when I was 26, had the pleasure of studying by the ocean, which was nice for a kid from the prairies, to spend the winter studying diamonds and colored gemstones at GIA's headquarter office in Carlsbad. So what it is it's a really intense 6-month residency program. It is if it was on a university schedule, it would be a much longer course, but it's intense, and you have to go through all the different courses that you need to have to become a graduate gemologist. So that's kind of like the most recommended type of studies for someone in my line of work to do. So I was very grateful to have that opportunity a number of years ago, and I still use all that knowledge today and continue to make sure that I'm still up to date on the new any kinds of gemstones or treatments that are in my line of work. So that's the reason why working with someone who has the proper training in our field of work, gives you more assurance that you're working with someone who has their specific has done their homework and has an accreditation behind it.
Exactly. And then you can have the confidence that the piece that you're purchasing for someone special in your life is going to be the right piece for them. It's going to be something that lasts and can be that legacy piece, right?
Exactly. And it also stands for appraisals on pieces. Let's say you inherited something from a great aunt. How I could tell you if it's plastic or glass, or if it's in fact a natural ruby or a ruby that has treatment. Those are the things that if you don't have the proper training, you can't convey to your client. Mm-hmm.
So are the Hallmark Christmas movies correct, or are they exaggerating something that engagements are a little bit more common this time of year?
Engagements are a little bit more common this time of year. Yeah, we see engagements throughout the year though, but there is definitely a romantic aspect of the holiday season to get engaged, and we do see it every year, and we're working on engagement rings right now for clients. This year's a bit trickier for folks coming in looking to purchase an engagement ring or to have one custom made. Doing it without meeting in person has proven to be a bit challenging, but we have tried our best to find different ways to do it virtually, like you and I are doing right now, and even curbside, choosing from a couple of different items or diamonds and then going from there. Not how I would particularly like to do it. Can't really use an eye loop without properly showing someone how to do so. So I think that's where having that confidence in our education and being able to convey that to our customers, they seem to be confident right now. And if they're not, we can do an engagement when the time is right, where we can meet in person. If that gives them more confidence to make the decision that way, that's okay too. But some folks do really want to get engaged at Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Very true. We're also seeing a huge push to shop local right now. I know that we just saw some folks picking up curbside pickup from your store. Are you getting some of that push to shop local as well?
Yes, we are. We're big advocates on shopping local. We have been for a long time. As a small family business who's been around for nearly 30 years, we are community members. We like to give back to the community, and we are not the only store or storefront in Winnipeg that does that. We are totally engaged in promoting other businesses in our neighborhood and throughout the city, and practicing what we preach by also doing our own holiday shopping with local businesses and telling our friends and family. So it's a really feel good time of year to be doing that, especially with the pandemic. We're really keen on it, and we were also really feeling for our friends in the restaurant industry.
Right.
So we have partnered with 20 local restaurants, small independent restaurants, throughout the city to do a cross promotion where we have given them a pair of pearl earrings for them to do a draw with their own client base. And in return, they've given us 4 $25 gift certificates. And we are promoting all of those restaurants on our online shop. And with each purchase over $200 from our store, you get to pick a $25 gift card to one of the 20 restaurants that have partnered with us. So you know what, it's been so interesting, Ashley, the interaction we've had with these restaurants owners.
Yeah.
Quickly done the exchange in the parking lot, all bundled up a few weeks ago when it was colder out. It was emotional, because some of these people whom I know and other restaurant owners this is the first time I've met, you can see there's just this raw human moment of it's a difficult time for all of us, especially those who have small businesses. So to do something to try to help each other out really, really drives home that the sense of community that we were really feeling right now. And it's been a really positive experience for me and for the restaurants as well. And it's been interesting to interact with them on social media to try to, just be part of the conversation. And if it's not working with us as a store or those particular restaurants, just getting people to think about supporting the small businesses in our city and province. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm not originally from Winnipeg. And when people ask me what I love about this city, one of the first things I mention is that you never have to eat at a chain restaurant. Like, there are so many incredible local options, and the community just takes care of each other. Like, they say friendly Manitoba, and it is so, so true. I'm
Well,
not kidding when I say this is my home and it will forever be my home because of that.
and you know what? As Winnipeggers, we love to hear that because I think, really pride ourselves on being welcoming to anyone, including newcomers to our city. So to have you say that, I love to hear that, because I think that's what we, from any aspect of our community, really hope that people feel when they're in Winnipeg, and you really see that coming through in really difficult times like what we're living right now. So I'm glad.
Absolutely.
We hope you stay put, Ashley.
Oh, I will. I bought a house mid-pandemic. Don't
Whoa,
recommend. But I'm here for good now.
that's great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, telling me about jewelry and the holidays. I hope to have some in my stocking. We'll see.
Never know.
And really looking forward to supporting these local restaurants as well.
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Ashley.
Absolutely. And Merry Christmas.
Interruption there.
Oh, no worries.
Thanks so much.